like to thank our sponsors, the Center for the Study of Religion, Council of the Humanities, Departments of Anthropology, Comparative Literature, English, German, Religion, and Slavic Languages and Literature, Graduate School, programs in African American Studies, American Studies, European Cultural Studies, and Media Modernity, the School of Architecture, and the University Center for Human Rights. This event is the first in a two-part series, the second of which will feature Anna and Cornel and will take place next March 28th at 4:30 p.m. during the Asheville. Please check the website www.princeton.edu/ideology for more information. Without further ado, I'd like to present the chair of this evening's discussion, Thomas Levine. Professor Levine is in the German department of Princeton, a translator and commentator on German and French philosophy, a cinephile, a curator, and here's the technology. Please give Professor Levine a warm welcome and introduce his special guests, Slavoj and Cornel.
Everyone. Thank you, Andrea. It's a great treat and pleasure to welcome two such extraordinarily public and engaged intellectuals to Princeton. It's a rare occasion, and I'm really happy to be here with you. One of the particular side effects, benefits of introducing such well-known figures is that it makes the job of the moderator rather easy. I really don't have to tell you much about either, since you've read the books, heard them on the radio, seen the movies, and now you'll hear them tonight in an exchange that I'm looking forward to as much as you are. In order to facilitate that exchange from undue interruptions, I would ask that you turn off your cell phones or have them vibrate also quietly. The format of this evening is Slavoj Zizek will present his lecture, followed by a response by Cornel West, to which Slavoj Zizek will then respond, after which we'll open the discussion to your questions. During the question period, there will be two gentlemen with microphones running around. Please address your questions to the mics so we can all hear them, and try to make them succinct so as many people as possible can have a chance to engage tonight's presentation. So without further ado, please join me in welcoming Slavoj Zizek.
I don't have to press any button, it works. Okay. I hope this works. Thanks very much for this invitation. I'm especially pleased, although a little bit afraid, out of respect, that my respondent will be my good friend Cornel West, because I also share his basic orientation, which is to combine progressive political engagement with certain, the least one can say is positive attitude or appropriation of religious topic, religious stance, and so on. I also think we can follow that that path, which makes us a minority maybe in today's progressive academia, but I think wait till 20 years when we'll take power and then we'll no longer be a minority. Okay, let's do some serious work today. I don't want to go into the direction of that unfortunate movie on me, because I only seen it once, and then my idea was like, would you allow that guy to take your daughter to a movie? No, I mean, okay. So let me start. I really want to talk about belief. You will immediately learn it's not a big surprise what the chicken are, no, from the title. But belief, what do we mean? What do we believe, especially how do we believe today? I think that our predicament with regards to belief finds its perfect expression in a documentary that I saw recently called Sandcastles, Buddhism and Global Finance. It's a documentary by Alexander Owie, I'm not sure I pronounce it correctly. It's a documentary which combines commentaries from economist Arnold Booth, sociologist Saskia Sassen, and the Tibetan Buddhist teacher Dzongkar Khyentse Rinpoche. Sassen and Booth discuss the gigantic scope, power, as well as social and economic effects of global finance. Capital markets, now valued at an estimated $83 trillion, exist within a system based purely on self-interest, in which herd behavior, often based on rumors, can inflate or destroy the value of companies or whole economies in a matter of hours. Then, the Tibetan Buddhist counters them with ruminations about the nature of human perception, illusion, desire, and enlightenment. His statement is, release your attachment to something that is not there in reality but is only a perception. This statement is supposed to throw a new light on the mad dance of zillion-dollar speculations. Now, echoing the Buddhist notion that there is no self, only a stream of continuous perceptions, Saskia Sassen comments about global capital. Quote, it's not that there are 83 trillion. It is essentially a continuous set of movements. It disappears and it reappears. So it's you got the point, that the ontology, as it were, that is forced on you, imposed on you, if you participate in these financial deals, in speculations on future, etc., is basically the Buddhist ontology. No substantial reality, the fragility of reality, and so on. The problem here is, of course, how are we to read this parallel between the Buddhist ontology and the structure of virtual capitalism's universe? The film tends towards the humanist reading. Seen through a Buddhist lens, the exuberance of global financial wealth is illusory, divorced from objective reality. The very real human suffering created by deals made on trading floors and in boardrooms, invisible to most of us. If, however, that's now my critical reaction, if one accepts the premise that the value of material wealth and one's experience of reality is subjective, and that desire plays the crucial role in both daily life and neoliberal economics, is it not possible to draw from it the exact opposite conclusion? Is it not that our traditional life world was based on the naive, realist, substantialist notions of external reality composed of fixed objects, while the unheard of dynamics of virtual capitalism confronts us with the illusory nature of reality? When you see that a rumor can cause the collapse of whole economies and so on, isn't this a wonderful lesson on the fragility of our notion of reality? Again, what better proof of the non-substantial character of reality than a gigantic fortune which can dissolve into nothing in a couple of hours due to a sudden false rumor? Consequently, why complain that financial speculations with futures are divorced from objective reality when the basic premise of the Buddhist ontology is that there is no objective reality in the first place? The only critical lesson to be drawn from the Buddhist perspective about today's virtual capitalism is that one should be aware that we are dealing with a mere theater of shadows, with non-substantial virtual entities, and consequently that we should not fully engage ourselves in the capitalist game, that we should play the game with an inner distance. Virtual capitalism could thus act as the first step towards liberation. It confronts us with the fact that the cause of our suffering and enslavement is not objective reality itself. There is no such thing, but our desire, our craving for material things, our excessive attachment to them. All one has to do after one gets rid of the false notion of substantialist reality is to renounce desire itself, to adopt the attitude of inner peace and distance. No wonder such Buddhism can function as the perfect ideology of today's virtual capitalism. It allows us to participate in the capitalist game with an inner distance, with our fingers crossed, as it were. I hope you got my point. I'm not praising capitalism. On the contrary, I am rather criticizing, if not Buddhism itself, at least a certain use of it. I think, again, that this kind of a ontology which says, that there is no fixed reality, it's just a flux of perception,